views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to the latest edition of Let's Talk Football with Rick and Jack. Welcome, my friend.
Welcome, sir.
It's always a pleasure. We had a little bit of a rough week last week. The NFL is not playing much defense, and some of the teams like Buffalo Bills that look unbeatable took a pretty good beating this week by Tennessee, who looks really good. And hey, they weren't even running the ball that well. They were passing the ball.
No.
So the Titans, the running team, with their big bad running back.
So can you imagine that with that offense now coming alive, throwing the ball? I can just imagine when they're running and throwing, defenses are going to have to be
Tennessee
very
looks
honest.
good.
Yeah, they do. Real good.
And you know, Tannehill has got a rebirth over there. And you know, he left Miami, and I mean, they made a good deal to get him, the Titans. And of course, they had that great playoff run. And something I was interested in was they've been 10-1 since last year. 10-1. The only game they lost was to Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
But they won every other game since. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, still undefeated this year. One of the few. Them, Green Bay, Seattle, and Pittsburgh. 4 undefeated teams. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a great week about football, and we're going to talk about it. We know we have some buys this week. Las Vegas, New Orleans, Seattle, and the Chargers are all off. And just a little bit of housekeeping, a couple comments before we get into our weekly picks. Last week, I know that my game of the week, I had the Rams and given the points, and they won easily 30-10 against Washington. So that was fun to get that, you know, my big pick of the week. Other ones I was average at best. But how was your week?
Overall, you know, I just pick them straight, and I went 9-2. So it was all right. Tampa Bay didn't show up like they were supposed to. So
terrible. And
then Vegas actually surprised me.
Well, let's stop and talk about Vegas for a minute and talking about what happened last week. Great win offensively and defensively. They just looked awesome. What an awesome team. And again, you know, this is another show. I didn't bring the Crow along this time. He was still sleeping. But I am eating crow on that for all you Raider fans. I apologize for my comments last week.
You can't apologize. You made your decision based on how they were playing. They were not
the Raider fans, you know, they no matter win or lose, they're loyal and faithful. You know how I talk about it. It's about odds to me, and you know who's going to win and lose. And guess what? I got my booty kicked this week, and the Raiders look sensational. And kudos, they get this week off to get healed and feel a little better. But congratulations to Raider fans. I know you made a whole bunch of money on that game and had a whole bunch of fun at the local bars wherever the Raider bars are. Please invite me to one. I haven't been to a Raider viewing of a game. I would really like to go to one of the Raider bars and where these people hang out. Please let us know where you are. I want to come to a Raider game and hang out. Please, I don't know if you tailgate or what you do. Go down to the parking lot there at the stadium and tailgate. But congratulations to the Raiders. I was wrong. Kansas City looked like horrible. I don't know what. I don't know what.
You don't know Jack.
I don't know Jack. So kudos to the Raiders, and if they keep playing like that, watch out. That's a very good football team.
It's one game.
I know, but they played. You got to admit, they beat a good football team, yes. and they made them look very human.
They also played they also beat a football team that the defense is basically non-existent there. It's all on offense why they're winning their games. So
isn't that the story of Seattle and a few of the other teams that are winning? Green Bay doesn't have a great offense. They keep winning because of their quarterback. Seattle, again, pulled out another game. I don't know if you saw that game. I'm sure you saw it. If you fans saw it, Seattle wins, basically the last play of the game. And by the way, we can talk about so many things before we get to the picks. DK Metcalf in Seattle. What a football player. That man is a beast.
So many GMs said he couldn't run any routes, and look at him now.
Oh, my God. Even that catch to win the game, and I mean, it was raining the whole game. I don't know if you watched. It was a great football game to watch on Sunday night, but, here they come again, and they win that game. They had to go 95 yards. Seattle had to go 95 yards with 1:53 to play. No timeouts. They won that game. The funny thing, the thing that's ironic about that game is that Minnesota could have gone on 4th down for a field goal, and they didn't kick the field goal. And if they would have kicked the field goal, Seattle would have had to make a touchdown and the 2 extra points to tie the game. No, they left it open. They left the door open. Seattle stops them on 4th down. Great stop. Marches all the way down. But that's how Seattle's played this year.
But at the end of the game,
Seattle
if you can score, you score.
Yeah.
So kick that field goal.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that take the reverse.
Put the points on the board.
Because if they get that 4th and inches, the game's over. But they didn't. So, you know, I'm a believer, take the points. And I kept saying, take the points, because you make Seattle not only go and score a touchdown, you make them also have to make a 2-point conversion. So they have to make 2 things happen to even tie the game. They didn't even put them in a position to do that. They miss on 4th down. Seattle wins it, but great win, and they march on, man. But they don't, you know, they don't play great defense. I think the best combination, and we'll see what happens this week, of defense and offense is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. And by the way, they got a chance to get Le'Veon Bell back, because the Jets released him after paying him $28 million.
So
you know, he was too good for Pittsburgh. Signed $56 million contract. $56 million. Has collected $28 million of it. And now he's a free agent, and I'm sure by this show he's been picked up. I don't know who's going to pick him up. There's a lot of teams that could use a running back, but man, what a bust. What a bust. I mean, that's so disappointing. He leaves Pittsburgh, doesn't play all year, causes all those problems. Pittsburgh says goodbye. You know, they move on. They got a good team this year. Le'Veon Bell has collected a lot of money, and
well, and as a Jets fan too, I'm like so disappointed. But what he didn't realize is the O-line that's in Pittsburgh is not the same O-line that's in it with the New York Jets. And yes, he got his money, but at the end of the day, if you want to win, you would have stayed in Pittsburgh.
yeah.
And as you see, when Connor took over, that O-line protected him, so
Yeah.
he can play. So selfish move on his part, but he got his money. Wherever he goes, hopefully he thinks, or they think twice, and make sure that they're making a good decision, because you never know when he's gonna quit on you. Did he quit on? So basically, he quit on Pittsburgh. And now he quit on the Jets, despite getting paid all that money.
Well, he tweeted last night that he's ready to go. Who wants to pick him up? He's ready to go. And guess what? Somebody will pick him up. They'll make a minimum deal with him. They're not going to pay him a lot of money. But you look at Pittsburgh. They got Connor, who's fine. They brought this kid in, Benny Snell, the rookie from Kentucky. He's a fine running back. I saw him in college. He was great at Kentucky. Now he's running the ball. Pittsburgh doesn't need. Somebody said, well, maybe they should get Bell back. Pittsburgh wants nothing.
You don't want that cancer in the
Mike
locker room.
Tomlin and the Pittsburgh organization want nothing to do with that man or Brown, who was another. He's another guy. No interest to the team, but what he did was help them have a couple bad seasons, both of them. But I'm glad they're gone. I'm glad Pittsburgh's playing well. They look like a good team. Seattle looks like a good team. As the NFL gets tougher every week and teams continue to lose games, we lost another coach this week, second one. Dan Quinn in Atlanta was fired. What's going on there?
I was actually surprised that it took them that long to make a change, but maybe the same thing what happened in Houston, where after he got fired, new coach, the team was inspired and they end up winning. So let's see if Atlanta can do the same.
Yeah, it's been fun watching NFL.
But is it the coach or is it the quarterback?
Well, Matt Ryan, I mean,
and also
I still think he's decent.
It's also defense too.
Oh, again,
or lack of.
They got their defensive backfield has been decimated by injuries, and that was a problem with Buffalo last night. They had 2 cornerbacks out, and their middle linebacker, who was one of the best middle linebackers in football, Brown, he was out, and they were killing him over the middle. Tennessee was just throwing little passes, but a lot of injuries in the NFL, a lot of bad defenses, some good offenses. I really don't know who's going to, separate themselves from the rest of the pack, or who's going to step up and become a better team. There's a lot of improving teams. I'm kind of disappointed. Again, the 49ers are decimated by injuries. That's not the same ball club.
No, they're not.
Not the same ball club.
I was actually surprised when, because I actually didn't watch the game. I was just checking out the score, and then I just see the score kept going up and
Yeah.
up and up, and I'm like, is that San Francisco?
Oh my God, it was horribly embarrassing.
Yes.
And that's not the Niners. Yeah, that is not the Niners. So the injuries are really hurting them, and
Especially on
and
defense
now
too.
they're
So
playing all kind of different quarterbacks. They had Mullen in there, and now they got Beathard in there, and Garoppolo came in. He just didn't look healthy. He couldn't step forward. So they got a lot of problems. They got a lot of problems in San Francisco, but it's driven by injury. They're a good football organization, and to me, the most prominent thing in the NFL, and before you bet on games or look at games or pick teams, watch your injury reports, because there's a lot of players hurt in the NFL. Watch your injury reports. That's also for fantasy football. I don't play fantasy football. He's a big dog in fantasy football and does very well. But again, I just enjoy watching games, looking at the total points, betting on games. Just a couple coins. I'm not a big bettor, but and giving out some winners like the Rams last week. But again, my assessment of the NFL: too many injuries, and you can't even know who to pick each week. And what's your assessment so far?
well, we're worried about COVID, and then all of a sudden, most of the teams are like injured, like just injuries here, whether it's offense, defense, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah,
because
it's tough.
So then, with those injuries, is it the strength and conditioning coaches that we need to be looking at now? Because we have the lagging injury. As a fantasy guy, I don't like groin injuries and quads.
Yeah.
And turf toes.
They can be avoided.
They're lingering all season long, and you don't know what your player is going to show up and do. So
Yeah,
do you
it's
play?
tough.
As soon as you put them on the bench, they blow up, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Look how in New Orleans, they haven't looked good. I mean, they got lucky and won that game the other night. They were very fortunate, but Mike Thomas not in there, what a difference. Him not playing. And, he's been hurt, and then he got suspended for mouthing off to the coaches. So I thought he looked to me like a great citizen in the NFL, just a quiet, hard-working dude. And now he's had an argument with the coaching staff. What's going to be going on in New Orleans, and what's going to happen with him the rest of the year? Because now he's in a dogfight with the organization, the coaches.
So when I see stuff like that, what I do is I look to see his reps. How many? When is he? Are they? When they start taking you out of the playbook, I can see, okay, he's done in the organization. Just like, not a few years ago, but when Randy Moss was playing in New England, they had great years together, and all of a sudden, he just literally stopped getting the ball, and he was frustrated, despite the success they had, knowing that he can still play, and that's when I knew, okay, he's done. So let's see how much he gets. How much is he playing? How many snaps, and is he targeted?
Yeah. Well, it's funny in the NFL. It always seems that receivers get so upset and their egos are so big.
They're divas.
They're divas, and they're the ones that are always shipped off. Diggs in Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, he was great in Minnesota. Now they shipped him to Buffalo, and he's okay there. He's doing okay. But you look at Andre Hopkins. That's the funniest thing. Couldn't get along with Bill O'Brien, who's been fired. They ship him to Arizona, and I think he's got the most receptions in the NFL, doesn't he?
Yes,
Hopkins. And I always say he's the best receiver in the NFL. But here's a guy that couldn't get along with the coaching staff. Now what's going to happen with Mike Thomas, who has been leading receiver? I mean, that guy had 114 catches last year,
and he can go into any team, and he'll be good.
Incredible route runner, incredible hands, and incredible physicality. Very physical guy. But like DK Metcalf in Seattle, he's a difference in the team. He is the difference, and it opens up everything else for the other receivers. So, anyways, it was a fun week, and it is discouraging gambling on these games and betting on these games and picking these games because so many injuries. And people don't realize, a lot of people don't look at the offensive lineman that gets hurt. What a difference that makes. A left tackle who protects the quarterback. There was one team, I watched so many games that their left tackle was hurt. And you're watching this defensive end just beating the holy heck out of them. and it changes the game because, clear path. I think it was Mack with Chicago was having an unbelievable game because it was a second string rookie in there, and he just had his way with them, and there was no time to throw the football.
No time.
No time. And Mack just he's great to begin with, and he hasn't been as great as we thought he would be in Chicago, but he looked awfully good the other night.
It just shows you that it takes a team to win.
Oh, especially
no matter
football.
how good your quarterback is,
Yeah.
if he's not protected, no matter how good that running back is, if he's not protected, you're not gonna be successful as you should be.
Yeah.
Not everybody's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, not everybody's going to,
slinging it.
You can play with an average defense and win like Mahomes, and with that incredible offense. I mean, incredible offense. But they had a rough game with the Raiders. And it showed some vulnerability on defense. I'll tell you that. And again, it looks like a few teams are playing good defense. Tennessee's playing good defense. They looked really good defensively last night.
I like that defense.
And Pittsburgh's playing good defense. But beyond
let's see what they do
beyond
this
that,
week.
the Ravens are playing good defense. The Ravens are a great team, and Minnesota's stepping up and playing much better defense. But they find a way again to lose games. So I don't know. It's Chicago's got a good defense. Chicago has a very good defense. That may be the best defense in the NFL after watching everything. They're pretty darn good. I like them. But anyways, it was a fascinating week with COVID and the testing and teams having to go in quarantine and players going in quarantine and injuries. NFL is tough right now, but we're not going to cry about our losses. We're going to look forward to this week and the picks we got here. So let's get into our picks this week, and we're going to start with, and again, watch closely injury reports, watch the COVID problems, watch who's not playing. It's very important to how you scheme out everything and how you work on betting on teams or whatever you do, betting against your friends for dinners or whatever it is. Pay attention to the injury reports. So we're going to start this week and try to have a little better week, even though we picked our top teams and had some big wins. We're going to start with the Carolina Panthers at home, -2.5 against the visiting Bears.
I'll take.
Who do you like?
I like Panthers. I like the way Bridgewater is playing right now, and the fact that their defense is actually not bad either. So I like Carolina.
Yeah, and Carolina is interesting. They haven't lost since McCaffrey's been out. Everybody, when Christian McCaffrey went out, said, "Oh, they're done." They haven't lost a game. As you know, I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. I think that guy's so underrated. He was great in New Orleans last year, 6-0, when Breeze was hurt.
Great in Minnesota.
Yeah, I love the guy, and he's one of my favorite players. If I played fantasy football, I would play him every week. I would play that guy every week. But I'm going to take. That being said, I'm going to take the Bears. I think their defense is stepping up.
Oh wow, way to have confidence in him.
Well, I mean, I like Carolina, but again, it goes down to the point spreads to me. I'm going to take the 2.5 points and take the Bears because I think that's an improving football team. I like the way Foles looked. I like the way their defense looked, and I think the Bears are on the upswing. And much as I like Carolina, I want to watch them win. I like that team. I like their new coach, Matt Rule.
But you like to make money.
But I like to make money. And, I can tell you on Monday night and Tuesday night football, I didn't do very well. So I have no money. You're buying lunch today.
No, I guess so.
You're buying lunch today, bud. Anyways, you're going with Carolina. I'll go with the Bears.
Okay.
And I'll take those 2.5 points. Now we got kind of a funky game here. Jacksonville getting 3.5 points at home against the Detroit Lions. The Matt Patricia Lions, Mr. Defense from New England.
He brought the fisherman defense over there.
Yeah. What do you like there?
I actually like. I'll take Detroit.
You're going to take Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville at home, and I think they're going to get on track. And Minshew might play a good game, and all that big press they gave him, and got rid of Foles and let him stay as the quarterback. I think Minshew is going to have a good game this week. At home, I will take the 3.5 points in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next up, Minnesota at home, giving 3.5 to the Atlanta Falcons. What a tough loss for Minnesota and Seattle the other night. They had that game won. They did everything right, and in the end, Seattle did enough to win, and that's Russell Wilson.
You
and
cannot
Pete Carroll
give
and
you cannot
that
give
whole
him
team. DK
almost
Metcalf.
2 minutes.
No, well, minute 53 on the 5-yard line. Whew, what a tough loss for Minnesota. And that was a great catch by Metcalf in the end zone there with 17 seconds left.
But this is the kind of stuff that
Fourth and goal.
would you have kicked it or you
No,
would
I'm talking about 4th and goal for Seattle. They won it. I would have done it just exactly as they did. I would have run the football and expected my guys. This is what I say. When Minnesota didn't go for the field goal to add 3 more points, they felt that they could make a couple of inches, and they didn't, and that was so amazing to me. So at that point, I thought it was a bad decision, but at the time they did it, I thought it was a great decision because you get that first down, the game's over. Seattle's got no more timeouts. But still, I'm saying to myself, if I'm the coach, if I'm Mike Zimmer, the coach of Minnesota, I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe we won't make it on 4th down. It's possible, but my defense can hold up for 1:53 with no timeouts left. They got to go 95 yards. You got to understand, it wasn't like Seattle had to go 50 yards. They had to go 95 yards. So I think it was a good call.
But the last 4 games, their defense hasn't been playing well. So why would you trust? And knowing that this is the kind of stuff that Russell Wilson does
incessantly, constantly. But Minnesota played pretty well in that game, and their defense was
pretty well didn't do enough.
Didn't do it. Again, hindsight is 20/20. When you look back, you say, "Oh, bad decision." I think he made the right decision. I just think that his defense failed him, and Metcalf. You got to understand. Excuse me. You have to understand. Metcalf on 4th down made two great catches. One on the sideline, a leaping catch, and then that
Was it a good route?
Shoot, man, that guy's a good football player. That guy is a good football player. Yeah, I mean, he's become my favorite receiver in the NFL. I love that guy. Him and Andre Hopkins, those dudes are who I like to watch. But anyways, you going to go with Minnesota?
Yeah, I like the Vikings.
Okay, we're both going with Minnesota. Giving 3.5 in Atlanta. Next up, Titans and Houston. There's been no established odds yet, so we don't know what the odds are on that game, but we're going to go ahead and just say who we think are going to win on this one. And check your odds, check what your odds are. But as of today, there are no odds on that game. I'm not sure that they even know if they're going to play it because of COVID stuff. And Tennessee had a lot of cases, but looked pretty good last night. So who you like in this game, Tennessee?
Yeah, I like the Titans.
Yeah, and again, check your local papers or whatever you look at. The next game up, New York Giants hosting the Washington football team. The Washington football team. Giants favored at home by 3 points.
I think they're playing better now as overall, so I'll take the Giants. I'm still not convinced with Washington.
Well, Washington, they didn't know who's playing quarterback. They took Haskins out, and then they play Kyle Allen, and then they're going to go with Kyle Allen again.
It's like a musical chair
Alex
there.
Smith, he was healthy enough to play. He got sacked 6 times, the poor guy. But they announced after the game that Kyle Allen is their quarterback. So, again, look at revolving quarterbacks there. I think the Giants are going to have a big breakout game and win this one, and you agree with me. Whoa,
Yes.
Here's a game, man. Pittsburgh hosting Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5. Cleveland's on a roll. Everybody's happy. The receivers are happy. Odell Beckham is happy. Who's going to win? That's a good game.
I go with the Steelers. I think
That's a great game.
the defense will show up. Not to mention, they do have a pretty good offense.
Cleveland's won 4 in a row. They lost their first game. They look good. I'm going to take the 3.5 and take Cleveland. I'm going to go with the Browns. So we got a lot of discrepancies here this week, disagreements. So, maybe we'll make a couple side bets and bet a couple cases of whatever kind of beer you like. Anyways, I think that's a great game. I think that's a game you don't want to miss if you're watching football and you only have one game to watch. That's going to be a great game, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5. I'm going to go with Cleveland. Next up, Philadelphia hosting the improving Baltimore Ravens. Improving. They're getting better every week.
That's actually my game of the week.
Yeah, they're running up points. They're favored by 7.5. That's your game of the week. You're taking the Ravens, right? Or are you taking Philadelphia?
I'm taking the Ravens.
You're taking the Ravens?
Yeah.
I'm going to write here. Your pick of the week. Okay. You hear that, fans? Pick of the week. Double up, triple up, quadruple up, whatever you play, however you bet, do your thing. We don't encourage gambling, but we like it. We don't want anybody to get in trouble with that. So, with your family members or bills, we don't encourage it, but we sure validate it. Isn't that the same thing? Anyways, my friend Mr. Jack, who knows Jack, he says, I don't know Jack after what I did with the Raiders last week. Oh, my God, I'm still licking my wounds and listening to Raider fans. But they're off this week, so I'm out of it. I don't have to worry about it. But that's your pick of the week, Baltimore 7.5. Next game up, Indianapolis Colts, Cincinnati. Indianapolis at home, given 7.5 to Cincinnati. Phillip Rivers, you probably saw the pick six that turned the game around by Mr. Phillip Rivers on the right sideline.
I told
Threw
you,
the ball away, and he had another interception. I mean, this guy
good
here,
for a couple.
This guy here, man.
I've been saying it.
I mean, this guy here. But, the L.A. Chargers aren't doing any better without him, 1-4 ball club.
But he's playing better.
Yo, who? You talking about Herbert?
Yes.
Oh, he's great. For a rookie, he looked great.
It's just the end of the game. He's
For
not.
a rookie, he looked great. And what a terrible loss at the end of the game.
Yeah,
in New Orleans.
he did the same thing with Tampa
Bay. He put
Bay.
the ball in Drew Brees' hand at the end of the game.
He did the same thing when he played Tom Brady, and then.
And how about Kansas City? Same thing. They should have beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
So the Chargers are a good football team. I'm impressed by their defense, actually. One of the better defenses. But
they also, with injuries too, Keenan Allen is actually injured right now.
Yeah.
He left at the half, which screwed me this week.
Oh, he hurt his back. So who you like? Cincinnati getting 7.5
I'll take the
at
Colts.
Indianapolis. You're going to take the Colts?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to agree with you. I think they're going to play enough. Before this week, they were the best defense. They didn't play any defense this week. And I think that Cincinnati, again, Joe Burrow's ball's going to be in the air 50 times. That poor kid, he's getting beat up. But I'll go with Indianapolis. We'll both go with Indianapolis. On to, this is another great game. Green Bay at Tampa Bay. Green Bay minus 1.5. Green Bay is favored in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looked terrible last week.
I'll take Green Bay.
I will also. I think Green Bay is going to continue to win games. And you know what his name, Rodgers, is Aaron Rodgers is really on right now. I mean, he's confident. And hopefully he gets some receivers back.
And he looks like he's actually having fun, too. So that's
He's laughing out there.
Big difference.
I'll go with you on that. Next game up, it's a tough game. Niners are just.
It's not a tough game. It's a win for it's a win for
It's a win for the Rams straight out.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll agree with you. The Rams are at 49ers giving 3.5 points. I'll go with the Rams. Niners are hapless, man. They don't even know who's playing quarterback right now. It's ridiculous.
They're injured. The team has a lot of injuries right now, so they need time. You need time to get over those injuries. Yeah. Otherwise, you can do more harm. So just get better. And I got LA, and unfortunately, New York Jets. I will not be choosing you guys this week to win.
Jets in Miami. Guys.
They're still.
I'm not a Jets fan. I was a nice guy and bet on them, and they're still terrible. But we don't even want to talk about that game. Miami minus 8 against the Jets. That's a lot of points for Miami to be given. You know what? I'm going to take the Jets. You're taking Miami. I'm going out on a limb. 2 weeks in a row, I want the Jets to win a game.
Well, you're gonna. They might cover because it's a division, but
8 points.
There's no offense there.
We'll see what happens. Darnold will be back this week.
Yeah, but no Bell.
Oh, so what? What did he offer? The last game on Sunday is going to be New England Patriots playing the Broncos. There are no odds established, so we're going to skip right over that, and we'll just say that the Patriots are going to win. I don't know how many points they're given because they haven't published them yet. Again, look at your local listings, and we want the Patriots, right?
I'll go with Patriots.
Yeah. Denver's no good. Denver's no good.
No. It's a rebuild season. They just don't want to say it.
But last year and the year before were rebuild seasons. Anyways, let's move on. Let's not waste our audience's time. Arizona, Dallas, at Dallas. No Dak Prescott. We got the red-haired bomber throwing the ball.
Red Rocket.
Red Rocket, that's what they call him, yeah. Andy's still
Red
a decent,
Rifle. Red Rifle.
Andy's still a good quarterback.
Hey.
I think they're lucky they picked him up. Andy Dalton is still has the ability to lead Dallas, but you know, I'm going to take the Cowboys. You're probably going to take Arizona, right?
No, I want the Cowboys.
Yeah, I do too. Arizona's playing good. They had a good week last week. Again, you know, up in the air. Our last game of the week, you know, we got 2 Monday Night Football games.
It's not night. It's 2 p.m. It's
okay, 2 p.m. They call it Monday night.
It's Monday afternoon.
It's on
football.
Fox. It's on Fox at 2 p.m. Kansas City at Buffalo. Whoa. 2 rebounding teams. They both lost last week. Who's going to win that one?
Kansas City.
I agree with you. Again, no points established. Look at your local papers and figure it out. But you know, it's again a shaky week. There's a couple really good games. And you know, Green Bay Tampa Bay is going to be a good game. Cleveland Pittsburgh is going to be a good game. You know, enjoy it. Enjoy the week. Those are our picks for the week. Again, we kind of went over what happened last week, and hopefully we've helped you out and you got some good picks there, and figure out these games that aren't listed yet, the odds. Figure it out for yourself, and let us know how you do. But please continue to watch the show. Come with your comments. We enjoy the followers. We got a lot of great followers, and they've got comments every week, and we enjoy having you on, and we enjoy doing these shows. And some weeks we have great weeks, and some weeks we have average weeks, and some weeks we look like you know what, not very good. But again, me with the Raiders. But we enjoy you. Keep watching, keep following, tell your friends about it. This is a great show. It's as good as any on the air. As good as CBS, NBC, ABC, whatever, Fox, whatever. We love doing this show. What do you want to end with today? Any final thoughts? Tell us something compelling that's going to give somebody a...
Compelling. I would say watch your injury reports. That makes a big difference in the way you bet. It makes a difference, and watch also culture. Teams with winning culture will find a way to win. You know, we mentioned like a Seattle with no defense, they find a way to win. You know, same thing with in New Orleans, they found a way to win. And just on a, I guess the Saints are trying to get players in this or fans in the stand. So they're actually looking to talk to LSU to see if they can use their stadium, because the mayor in the city does not want to do any public gathering. So let's see.
That's interesting. Yeah, they're talking to LSU. Anyways, great show. I wanted to wait till the end to give you my pick so that you remember it. You finished the show with my pick. But the Rams giving 3.5 to the 49ers. That's my pick of the week. Last week I had the Rams also. They won 30-10 and covered for me, and that was my big pick of the week. But I wanted to wait till the end of the show so you remember it. It's in your head. You know that I'm usually right, so please make that bet. Thank you, my friend. What did you want to say? You wanted to say something to me about. You were going to say something.
Yes.
You were going to say something. I saw
You're
it.
usually right until you don't know Jack.
Oh, shit. Raiders. Anyways, thanks for watching. Great show, my brother. It's always a great fun. Thank you. Please, look at our picks. Keep watching us. We'll see you next week. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Have a great week. Make some money. Have some fun. Go down to the casino and enjoy it and watch a few games. It's always funner to your local bar. Again, Raider fans, let me know where you're at. I want to go to a Raider game next week, sit down with you and have a few drinks and some food. I'll even buy if the Raiders win. So
the Raiders can't lose this week, right?
They can't lose this week. The Raiders are a cinch this week. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Please continue to watch. Good luck. Love the NFL. Talk to you soon.